Chalice, providing you this commentary from Baku, Azerbaijan, here at the 16th AIBA World Championships. And as we now see the second bout of the morning session.
Judge number 3, France. Judge number 4, Ireland. Judge number 1, USA.
Gaybatulla Gadzhialieyev, you could see his pedigree, quite an experienced amateur boxer. Out of the red corner, making his way now from Uzbekistan, Gerardo Poggi. We could see the referee from Argentina right there. Now making his way to the red corner is Sanjarbek Rahmonov from Uzbekistan, 22 years old. And Gaybatulla Gadzhialieyev from Azerbaijan. And now you see both boxers enter the ring. Sanjarbek Rahmonov from Uzbekistan. He's 172 centimeters tall. He's 22 years old. And as I say, quite an amateur pedigree. He was a participant in the 2009 AIBA World Championships back in Milan. While he placed 10th, it just goes to show that he's been to an event like this before on the world stage. And while boxers of all types and all walks of life should have jitters and nerves when they enter the ring, no matter what level of competition, it's only human emotion. I would imagine that Rahmonov, having been to this dance before, feels quite cool. He's the 2010 Asian Games bronze medalist, and as well as the bronze medalist in the 2011 AZE Memorial Tournament. Gaybatulla Gadzhialieyev from Azerbaijan, though, is no stranger to this level of competition. He was a 2007 AIBA Cadet World Champion, 2010 European Championships in Moscow. He was a participant there, and he took bronze at the European Championships in Ankara, Turkey this year. He's also a World Series of Boxing participant as well. AIBA's new professional league, semi-pro league as they say, and you could see action right out of the gate. Both of these boxers look like they are willing to trade and stand toe-to-toe. Rahmonov in the red corner, Gadzhialieyev in the blue corner. And Rahmonov with a nice tight guard, a strong stance, and a powerful jab. The Uzbeki boxer comes out punching, and right here out of Baku, Azerbaijan, Gadzhialieyev is going to certainly have the crowd support in his favor. There's a ripping left hook by Gadzhialieyev, and a nice right hand as well. Pushes the Uzbeki boxer back, and here comes Rahmonov with a left hook, and nice high tight guard by Gadzhialieyev. Left right by Rahmonov. Gadzhialieyev with a quick left hook, followed by an answer. If there was a question by Gadzhialieyev, there was an answer by Rahmonov with another left hook right back at him. In-your-face style of boxing here. These two clearly are willing to stand in the center of the ring, as they have been for pretty much the entirety of this round, and just trade punches. Very exciting style. And there's a nice quick right hand that sneaks in by Gadzhialieyev, and there's a left hook that perhaps scored, at least on some of the judges that could have seen it. Another left hook. The Azerbaijani boxer clearly favoring that left hook as a way to sneak some scoring in over the high guard of the Uzbeki boxer. And now a nice jab straight down the middle also snaps back the head of Rahmonov. Good combination punching by both boxers. Double left hook by Gadzhialieyev. Chopping right hand by Gadzhialieyev. So these boxers are definitely going to give the fans, both here at the stadium as well as out there in TV land, an enjoyable performance. You also catch this action live on AIBA's YouTube channel. Left, right by Rahmonov. Great defense by both boxers. You could see there that both of them are keeping a very high guard, fundamentally sound, elbows in, making it very difficult to penetrate. Imagine a warrior with a shield in front of him. That's very hard to penetrate the body, the corpus of the boxer. When you can't figure out a way to get through it, you've got to get around it somehow. You've got to figure out a way to get the opponent to drop his shield, to raise his shield, to move it from side to side. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to penetrate his body. And that's exactly what both of these boxers are doing with the high guard. And that's why it's made for a very competitive bout so far. And we're going to see a replay here as the Uzbeki boxer comes forward, but quickly answered with a right hand by Gadzhialieyev. There you see Gadzhialieyev pressing the action. Left hand by Gadzhialieyev, and clearly these boxers are hungry. Hungry would be an understatement. They want to go represent their country in the Olympics in London, and there you see the Azerbaijani boxer with a score of 11-6 after round 1. So clearly he has somewhat of a home court advantage, that's for sure. And he's got the crowd support and probably the familial support right here in the complex. And as we get ready for round number 2, the referee going to send the Uzbeki boxer Rahmonov back to his corner, quite eager to start to mix up those fisticuffs. And there's a nice left-right hand out of the gate by Gadzhialieyev. Double jab followed by a right by the Uzbeki. Uzbeki boxer down a few points coming into this, and it's again very hard to come back when you're down because there's always that built-in inherent instinct by the winning boxer, or rather the boxer who's up on points, to try and stay away if possible and avoid giving up that oh so sacred lead. However, some boxers say out the window with that sort of style, they're going to stand there toe-to-toe and slug it out, not get on the bicycle, and that looks like exactly what Gadzhialieyev is here to do. He's still throwing punches in bunches. A right hand scores by Gadzhialieyev. A chopping left hook by Rahmonov. And the boxers continue. Much of this action has been in a phone booth right in the center of the ring. Not too much circling, not too much retreating, primarily advancing, which is good. It's hard to score points while you're retreating. It's more of a defensive tactic, and both of these boxers have such a sound fundamental defensive style anyhow that they don't need to retreat. They could just keep their hands up, keep coming forward. Neither boxer is doing too much lateral movement. I'd like to see more of that from an amateur boxer, to circle to the left, to circle to the right, whatever deems appropriate at the moment, be based on what your opponent's style is and types of punches he's throwing. In this case, both boxers in the conventional stance, you tend to want to circle to your left to avoid that big right hand of your opponent. Make him have to stretch across his body for that jab to be effective. There's a nice combination by Gadzhialieyev, and just under a minute here in round number 2. A right hand to the body by Rahmonov, and a nice answer, a right hand, a big overhand right by the Azerbaijani, saying, I'm here still, I'm right here, come and get it. Good retreat right there, defensive tactic by Rahmonov to avoid that 1-2 combination by Gadzhialieyev. And rights ripping to the body, although mostly blocked by the great high guard and defense, the elbows of Gadzhialieyev. And the Uzbeki boxer going to need to figure out another way, perhaps, to try and score points here. What he did in the first round didn't seem to be enough, according to the judges, and looks like much of the same here for round number 2. It's a pretty even matchup, so it would seem. Let's see how the judges have it in just a moment. After 2 rounds here in Baku, Azerbaijan, you're starting to hear the crowd really pick it up here at the Gadzhialieyev Sports Complex. Left hand, right hand, and there's a ripping left to the body. And you can see most of those punches by Rahmonov are being blocked by the high guard of Gadzhialieyev. And right there you can see the difference in contrast where the right hand of Gadzhialieyev sneaks right through over the left hand. The problem with the Uzbeki boxer in this instance, Rahmonov, is that when he throws his left hand out, he's not getting it back quick enough. It's oh so important when you throw out the jab to retreat, bring it back just as quickly. And look at that. Gadzhialieyev up now 24-13. So again, just like in the first bout, he's pulled away to an 11-point lead going into the next round. As I was saying, when you throw your punches in all style of boxing, amateur, pro, it doesn't matter. You need to get your hand back as quickly as you throw it out. Some people think, oh, I'll throw out a punch fast and hard and then I'll bring it back at my leisure. No, you got to bring it back as fast as you threw it out, because that's where the counter-punching of your opponent is going to be so effective. He's going to counter your punch and hit you before your hand's up to defend yourself. So in this instance, we saw here in the replay between rounds how Gadzhialieyev is doing a great job with that, whereas the Uzbeki boxer not quite getting his hands up quick enough, and as a result, Gadzhialieyev really winning the counter-punching match here in this 64-kilogram matchup. Now you see Rahmonov starting to circle to his right just a bit. Left-right combination by Gadzhialieyev, another one primarily blocked by the gloves and head. And now you start to see some of those punches really sneak through the guard of Rahmonov, excuse me. Gadzhialieyev clearly the more aggressive. I shouldn't say clearly, to be quite frank with you, it's not that Rahmonov's not being aggressive, it's just not as effective aggressiveness as we would like to see. Gadzhialieyev being more effectively aggressive by keeping his guard up high, getting his gloves back in front of his head. Now you see he complains of some sort of, that would be a strap. Looked like he may have been complaining of a headbutt, although there wasn't a headbutt evident. And now we see it's the strap, the chin strap. Goes to his corner, gets it fastened. And the referee is going to bring the boxers to scratch, and a wide left hook by the Azerbaijani boxer misses its mark by a few. Rahmonov just not showing enough urgency here. He's down way too many points in this final minute of action to just be sort of breezing through here. He needs to start throwing punches in bunches, putting it all on the line. At this point, he's not going to win on points. He could only win with a knockdown, perhaps a stoppage, a knockout. And in order to do that, he's got to lay it all on the line. He's got to start throwing more punches, more than he's ever thrown. How bad does he want to get to the 2012 Olympic Games in London? Well, the answer is right here. This is how bad. This is the measure of a man in the final minute of the final round of the final, well, it won't be the final chance. To be clear, there will be a continental qualifying event still where these boxers will get a chance to qualify. That'll happen in early 2012 for those that don't qualify here. However, you don't want to leave it to that. You never know what's going to happen. An injury could put them out. There could be a reshuffling of the rankings in their home country, as is the case in certain countries where they may not even get another shot. So while their countrymen or their team may get another shot at sending someone in this weight class to the Olympics, it may not be to Sanjarbek Rahmonov, which is why he needs to leave it all out here. And with just a second or two left here, it would seem that the result is fait accompli, as Gadzhialieyev goes back to his corner and gives a double high five to his seconds. And you're going to really hear it from the crowd here once this decision is announced, as that will be the first entry, the first passage into the quarterfinals by one of their own in this tournament. judge has both, the referee has both boxers in the center. There it is. The hand is raised for Gaybatulla Gadzhialieyev. And you're really starting to hear it now as he circles the ring and congratulates everyone, shakes the hand of the judge. You could see the fans in attendance here really supporting their countrymen. You could look at some action here from the final round where Gadzhialieyev, knowing he's got his man beat here and continuing to stay busy.
The ball of 430 minutes life play from 649 kilogram. Red corner, Spain, Spain,